Three interesting things. Three interesting things. Three interesting things.
And we're back! Hey everybody, it's Justin.
What's going on?
And Miles here. Here for another week of Three Interesting Things. And we have got a great show for you today. We have a special guest that we'll be bringing on later. His name is Vikram Vadi.
Vikram Vadi, baby!
And Miles, you want to tell us a little bit about Vikram?
Okay, well, I'll tell you guys how we met. You know, like an old married couple tells you how they met. So, 6th grade. Let me paint this picture. Back of Mrs. Kruger's class, and we're sitting there. We got sit right next to each other. And he's reading this book that I'm also reading at the same time, and I say to him, the cocky bozo that I am, I say, "Bet I can finish this faster than you can." And that's what sparked our friendship. I finished it way faster than he did. I don't know if he ever finished the book, but every time we see that book or anything about that, we always remember that story and say something about it to each other. So that is Vikram.
Vikram's a friend of yours.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, so whenever somebody says the word which happens a lot in podcasts, and I edit those out. I edit almost every I've gotten so good at editing it all out that I can tell what an is without even listening to it. I just see the waveform, the ups and downs of the audio format.
Can you see it right now? You're looking at the audio as
No, it's not zoomed in enough.
Oh, okay. You know my
Yeah, I know
you know
your
what it looks like when you see it.
So Derek had a different than you
funny.
did.
Oh my gosh.
And then your is like a box.
Yeah.
Your is like a up higher on the bottom than it is on the top. And your is a super short spike.
What about yours?
I don't say them as much.
I don't believe you.
I don't.
I say a lot?
Yeah, you say it a lot. You go.
So even when you don't even have to listen to it, you just, when you see it on there, you just go ahead and delete it.
Depends. If it's like right out in front of the thing, then I'll just get it and delete it. But if it is inside of a sentence that you're saying, then I will listen to it and then figure out what part you say in and delete that part.
That's interesting. What else has been going on with you, Miles?
Well, I had this epiphany the other day.
Oh, yeah?
And my brain was completely scrambled because I had just had this great idea. And I went into Jude's room and I said, "Hey, I'm going to become a gaming computer with 67 gigabytes." Which means nothing.
Did this happen in real life or
Yes.
this was a dream?
This happened in real life. My brain was so scrambled and I was so excited. My idea was to get a computer, not become a computer. But I
you
said
it wrong.
Yeah, I said, "Jude, I'm going to become a gaming computer with 67 gigabytes." And now he won't let me live it down.
Well, I guess I'm on his side, Miles. That's pretty ridiculous.
What do you have to say? What happened this last week?
Well, I'm reading an interesting book right now, and I know you love it when I share about the books I'm reading.
I do. They're interesting.
And I'm reading one about Montana history right now, and about a terrible train disaster that happened not far from where we are here in Kalispell back in 1901. And somebody had stopped the freight train, and put the brake on it, and the brake failed, and it started screaming down the tracks, and it rammed right into this passenger car. And they don't even know how many people died because the first couple of cars were just totally obliterated because the freight train was coming in so fast. Anyway, that's kind of a happy little story, I guess.
So happy. I am in a much better mood now.
We're coming up on October, so it's kind of a ghost story, too, because they said they couldn't really identify the bodies, so they just kind of buried them out there where they found them. So there's kind of a big mass grave out there by Glacier National Park where there was a train wreck in 1901. We should go on October 31st, Miles. You want to go out there?
No.
No? Okay. Okay, and we're back, and we're here with our very special guest, Vikram Vadi.
The most
Hello.
illustrious man we know.
The illustrious Vikram Vadi.
Indeed.
Oh, sorry. Hello, welcome. Vikram, how you feeling today?
Feeling good.
Now, as I understand it, you and Miles are friends with each other.
Yep.
Is that...
As you understand it, it's a little more complicated than that.
Is it more complicated than that?
No.
Okay, well, Vikram, just to get to know you a little bit, I guess just to set the stage, you're a sophomore at Flathead High School.
Yep, same age as Miles.
You're a 15-year-old man,
Boy, yeah.
young man. You have a driver's
man.
permit.
I have a learner's permit.
learner's permit.
So I can drive with my mommy and daddy.
Nice. Okay, I've got one question for you.
Okay.
And then we'll get on to the meat of the podcast. We're getting on to 3 interesting things, but one quick question.
Okay.
And it's this: you've got a little sister, right, Vikram?
Yep, I do have a little sister.
What's her name?
Her name is Padmaja.
Now, this is what I'd like to ask you. What is the most unfair treatment that you receive from your parents regarding your sister? What's one thing your parents will do for your sister that's so unfair and they won't do it for you?
Well, I don't even know where to start.
Oh, yes.
I gotta show this to his parents.
Oh, no.
Definitely buying clothes. Maybe it's like a girl or boy thing. Honestly, I really like to like buy nice clothes. They never really want to buy me anything, but they'll like always want to go shopping with her. Like I want my drip. I want my nice clothes.
You want to be
Nice.
wet. You want to be dripping.
I want to be
For sure.
dripping in third period,
No, I
even
know.
fifth period.
I
you
know what that means. Okay, great. Again, welcome, Vikram. All right,
Okay.
we're going to turn it
Okay.
over to Miles for the
Yeah.
first interesting thing.
I'm very excited. This one is pretty interesting. I was on a little bit of a short notice, but I came up with this question. Would you rather take a $100,000 a week job where you get paid to sit in a pitch black room and do nothing for 20 hours a day? You can sleep in that room. Or have your normal life.
Okay, so you're in a pitch black room for 20 hours a day.
It's just like a box.
But is it 5 days a week, or
Yeah,
do you get the
that's
weekends
what I'm
off?
wondering.
You get $20K if you get the weekends off.
What?
So there's a negotiation here.
Okay, you get $50K if you get the weekends off.
But at a certain point, like you'd stop with this lifestyle, right? Like, what's the time period? that
Yeah,
you'd be
how
doing
long do you have
this?
to commit to?
1 week at a time.
Oh, well, I mean, I'd do it for 1 week and
Yeah.
then see, I guess.
Okay, well, how long would you do it?
Well, I don't know how.
Well, just
I
do
don't
it
know.
when you need to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, are we allowed to do that?
No,
Come back
you have
to
to
it
do it for
all at
one
once.
continuous time.
And you get
you don't get the weekends.
And
No
$100,000. You get $100,000 every week, and it's 20 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Okay, let's break this down. You would sit there for 10 hours and sleep. You would sleep for
You'd
10
sleep-
hours.
You'd sleep a lot for sure, right?
Yeah,
If it's
that
dark.
would be a
Meditate,
lot.
maybe.
And I assume,
Meditate.
right? Like I assume you're not allowed to have a phone or any light source,
No
right?
light source. No, you are naked in this room.
So you do nothing.
How
all day.
cold is it? Or how is
it's
it room temperature? Just
Exact temperature you want it to be.
And you can eat and drink and stuff.
you want it to be
You just get given like
crackers.
like a block of food. That's your rations for the day or
a
something.
block of food.
A pill. You take a pill. in the
No,
morning.
you're making this miserable.
No, yeah, I'm making it miserable.
$100,000
$100K a week.
I mean,
Dad.
I'd do it at least until I got $1 million.
I would do it
Yeah.
probably for like 5 months. I would do it.
But
as
you'd go
long-
insane.
I
You'd
know.
go
You
crazy.
would go insane, right?
I would do it. Okay, I would do it as long as possible.
I don't know if I could make it a week. I honestly don't. Honestly, that sounds so
That
miserable.
just sounds horrible.
Especially every day, it would just feel like prison.
Okay,
Yeah.
what if you can? What if you have meals? You still can't see, but it's like dropped in through a little slit. No light comes through the
Still,
slit.
I can't do it.
Okay,
I'm out.
So
You
I'm
can't do it for
I
a
won't-
whole week.
I'll try it for a day, but I don't think I can make it a day.
But I'm still confused. So let's say you're 30 and you do it for a week. Then when you're 50, can you do it for a week again?
No.
You have to do it all at once.
All at once? Ooh, that's tough though. I don't know.
I would try it, but I know I couldn't do it.
If
for
you
that
can
long.
eat, I might be able to do it for 3 weeks.
Oh, sounds so terrible.
$300,000 is so much money.
All right, we better keep it moving
Okay,
here.
okay.
Very interesting, Miles. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Okay, now we're gonna bring it over to Vikram.
Okay, so there's this interesting philosophical notion that maybe our thoughts are only a byproduct of our actions. So let's say you want ice cream. You think, oh, I just want that sweet, delicious chocolate ice cream. And then you go and buy ice cream. Well, this notion suggests maybe you're going to buy ice cream anyway. Your thoughts are just a byproduct of that. So what do you guys think of
So
that?
your thoughts are convincing you that you're making the decisions, whereas you're not actually making any decisions. You're just justifying.
Yeah,
what
like your
body
life is just set out for you. And you just have these thoughts that just happen to
and
pop
you just-
out.
Okay.
I mean, you're getting pretty deep there, Vikram. Like you're talking about the nature of free will.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Like, do we have free will, or is everything we do just a response to some stimulus that we receive?
Are we robots?
Are we just?
I mean, the
robots?
real question is, does it matter to us? Like, if we learned that for sure, how would you change your lifestyle? would you really change?
Would you even be able to?
Yeah,
right.
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Well, you can't. Well, I mean, you can, but it's not up to you. It's up to your body.
Yeah.
Well, but you are your body. You know, that's the other thing that, like, what would free will even look like, right? Like, you would go against your programming. Well, why would you? That wouldn't be you. Why would you go against your programming? You know?
True.
So
Like, your
it's-
programming is you.
I mean, at the end of the day, aren't we all just biomechanical
Yeah.
machines?
At the end of the day,
Feels
this
like it
is true.
sometimes.
I just feel like this sometimes.
At the end of the day, this is true. You know, it's just you do what you want to do because it's good for you in the long run, and then you think and you justify that with your thoughts. Like, you are nice to people because it makes you feel good. You are
Yeah.
nice to people because it makes them feel good, and that might repay you someday. It makes you feel good. You have children to fulfill yourself, not to give life to more
See,
people.
this you guys are hitting on, honestly, like two of the very biggest philosophical questions, which is there free will? And number two is there any true altruism? Can you actually do an act where it is only for someone else and nothing received by
I don't
you?
think it's possible for teenagers at all. Like, for myself, I would never do something for just someone else.
Well, again, even if you were doing that, it would still make you feel good.
Yeah.
You would still get a benefit out of it. Or if somebody knew that you did it, then they would
Yeah.
give you credit for that, and you would get a benefit out of it.
It would have to be like somebody you hate and nobody else is around.
Yeah.
And you would have to, and there would be no repercussions either way. And you would have to choose to
Yeah.
let them go.
Well,
free
sometimes
or
I think
something.
when teachers or just people teach integrity, doing the right thing when no one's watching, I just think that's better in the long run for everyone. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it's not, you're not actually
You're not
doing
gonna
it when
get in
no
trouble.
Because somebody is watching eventually. There's going to be a point in time where, but it's just safer. So it's just a better principle.
They're just teaching safety instead
Safe.
of,
Recklessness.
yeah.
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 Okay.
This is great. That was a very interesting discussion. I liked it. That was great.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to finish up with my interesting thing. This week, I was at an outdoor first responders training. So it's an outdoor first aid training. It lasted 5 days here in Montana, kind of out in the mountains. And we went over a lot of different interesting things. But the one that I wanted to share with you guys today is about paradoxical undressing. And that's when, and this actually happens between 20 and 50% of the time, in hypothermia deaths. The last thing they do right before they die is they take off all their clothes. And so my question to you guys is, if you were in a situation, you're in a blizzard, and you're freezing to death, and right before you die, the last thing you do is you rip all your clothes off. So when you're discovered by the rescuers, you're curled up in the fetal position in the snow, naked. Now my question is, why do you think they do that? What's the mechanism in the body that causes them to do that?
Is it because your body is like burning off the last of your energy to try and make your death pleasant because it already knows it's gonna die?
So there are chemicals that your brain releases when you are dying for comfort and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So that is happening as well, but that's not actually what's making people take their clothes off in this case.
Wait. How do people know that those chemicals are being released? They have to kill somebody to know that.
No, but they have
Yeah.
had people hooked up to EKG machines and CAT scans as they've died, and they've collected a lot of that data
Okay.
that way. Yeah.
Well, I've heard that they just feel really hot. So
Yeah, but why? Why do you think they would feel hot right before they die? The theory that most people agree right now is when you start going to hypothermia, what your body does is it protects your vital organs. And so it actually brings the blood from the rest of your body, from your extremities, and puts it right around your core so that your core stays healthy as long as it can. That's one of the reasons people get frostbite, because the blood has
Yeah.
come out of their fingers
Okay.
to protect their core to keep it warm. However, when you start going into organ failure, then those blood vessels have now become exhausted of trying to contract all of that blood into your core.
Okay.
They've become exhausted and the organs fail, and all at once,
it just releases.
the blood rushes back into your arms and your legs and your
so-
head.
So it's kind of like when you have a dead leg, but then it
Yes.
just comes back into you.
That's
Okay.
exactly what it's like.
Or
Like it's you've been
you
you're,
get the chills.
yes, your
Yeah.
your arms and legs have been deprived of that oxygenated blood. All of a sudden they have it back again and they feel really warm. And so they all take their clothes off. There was this crazy incident in Siberia. It happened about 40 years ago, 50 years ago. It's called the Dyatlov Pass incident. And it was 9 hikers that had spent the night in a tent. And the next morning, they didn't come to where they were supposed to meet up with their group. And they went searching for them, and they found all 9 of them laying in the snow, naked, frozen to death. And they had actually cut open their tent from the inside to get out of there. And they don't know exactly what happened. There's a lot of different theories, and one of them is that this paradoxical undressing, that they actually somehow became a hypothermic, were just confused, cut open the tent, and escaped. But
Maybe conscious thought isn't even working.
yeah.
Like maybe you're just doing whatever your subconscious says.
Well, this brings us right back to Vikram's question.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It's full circle.
All right, well, that's a great place to stop.
All right.
Okay, and actually, we're going to just kick it right over to Vikram to take us out. Go ahead, Vikram.
So I've been informed that next week's guest is famous actor and improv artist Sir Elton John. And in conclusion, our quote of the week, as Martha Washington always said, my, my, my. Interesting things, 3. Interesting things, 3. Interesting things, 3.
That was sick.
All right.
Another great episode.